guys, happy Valentine's Day. It is currently the night before Valentine's Day and I'm gonna surprise John with some brownies, which are one of his favorite things. So I'm really excited. I don't have a recipe yet. We're just gonna go with what we're feeling and I'm gonna film the whole process, and if they come out, then I'll share the recipe. Let's go over the ingredients I'm gonna be attempting to use. With brownies, my secret, and these might not even come out, but when I do make them, I use a combination of oil and butter. I just think they're the best that way. Eggs, cocoa powder, flour, it's heavy, white sugar, and a tiny, tiny bit of baking powder. Again, another controversial ingredient in brownies. I don't know, just a tiny bit. I also have half a cup of Nestle chocolate chips. I'm gonna be melting these down and adding them into the brownies. Baking cocoa isn't chocolatey enough for me, so there's actually a big difference when it comes to baking things in metal versus glass, and I prefer metal for brownies. And for cakes. So I'm gonna use this, and I've just put some parchment paper inside of it. I crumpled it up. It's not sitting flat, but I crumpled it up and then it's easier to sit flat that way. So we're gonna start with butter. I'm gonna do half a stick of butter, 4 tablespoons, and then a 1/3 cup of oil. I'm gonna melt down the butter as well and combine these two. Okay, so I'm gonna add the butter in, it's melted, and you don't need to really wait a long time for it to cool down, depending on how hot you got it though. Because we're gonna put eggs in a little bit. Do not mix hot butter with cold eggs. Bad mix. The eggs will cook. Okay, so our half a stick of butter is in, and now I'm gonna add a 1/3 cup of oil, and I am using a dry measuring cup for this. Maybe don't follow my lead on that one. But yeah, I'm just a horrible example of baking. Sometimes. Okay, now we're gonna add, what do you think? 1 cup or like 1 and a little bit more cups of white sugar? We're adding melted chocolate chips, so I think 1 cup is plenty. Typically I add more sugar to brownies than I do cookies. That's not baking science, that's just me being me. All right, here we go. I have no control of this right now. Oh, the bowl is falling. And that is too much. All right. So we are just gonna whisk this up. Yeah, I'm not using an electric mixer again. I'm just gonna use a whisk. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we've combined it pretty easily, just the fat and the sugar together. And now we're going to add our eggs. Now I'm thinking, this is also the step where I would typically add a vanilla extract. This is a brownie, it's chocolate. I don't think I want vanilla extract. I don't know. What would you do? I'm not going to add it, but I was also thinking, what are the types of things you add into your brownies that I'm not adding into mine, or what am I doing differently? I know a lot of people add espresso powder or coffee into their chocolate items, like chocolate cake and brownies. We don't have coffee in this house. We're gonna crack them in one at a time into our mixture. Oh, that's okay. Barely got dirty. I'm gonna pull it back so you can see it. Okay, we're gonna whisk these together. There we go. We're off to a good start. I haven't messed up anything yet. So next we're going to add the melted chocolate. So I have to go melt my half cup of chocolate chips, and these are semi-sweet. Okay, I'm gonna dump this chocolate in. She's kind of thick. I'm questioning everything now. Like, was this the right time to put this in? Also, this is, yeah, paper bowl, don't come for me. We're gonna mix it and see what happens. I'm really nervous. I've done this before. I swear I've done this before. That's just like a lot of chocolate. Like, do I even need cocoa powder now? These are gonna be insane. Oh, it's very chocolatey now. Next is the flour, cocoa powder, a little bit of baking powder. And I'm gonna add some salt because it's chocolate. Who would I be if I didn't? Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 1 cup of flour, 4 tablespoons of cocoa. Let's do that and let's see what happens. I think I might need a little more flour, but I'm gonna start with 1 cup of flour, 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Let's do it. So this is half a cup. Oh, just kidding. The cup measurement is in here. I always leave it in here. I forgot about that. I am just exposing all my quirks. Here's my tablespoon. I'm gonna do 4. Should I do 2? I'm gonna do 3. We're doing 3. We'll see what happens. And then I'm gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon, which is like basically nothing. Should I do a 1/2 teaspoon? No, I don't think I need any of this, but I get nervous baking without it. 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. I just threw it. Okay. Okay. Obviously this bag is blocking the bowl, so I'll show you what it looks like after I whisk it. Oh, I want to add a little bit of salt too, actually. Okay, okay. I'm not mad about this. I am not mad about this. She's thick. I just want to make it a point again. I wouldn't use my fingers if I were baking for you. But I'm not, so I am using my fingers. It's on my wrist. It's missing something. Yep. It's salt, I think. I need to close my eyes. Just a sprinkle. That was probably less than a 1/4 teaspoon. Yes, that was it. Okay. I'm gonna add a splash of milk and we'll call it a day. Do a tablespoon. This is 1/2 tablespoon, so 1/2. Whole. Let's see. Just needs like a tad moisture. We did it. My hair's looking crazy. I also usually bake with my hair up. But today I had my hair up and I looked like a founding father, so I had to take it down for the video. Okay, the sides of the bowl are obviously messy, but there we are. Are we adding chocolate chips? Yes. This is a giant bag of frozen snacking chocolate chips that we have. These aren't even my baking chocolate chips, but that should do it. Let's add this to the pan. Okay, another hot take. I do not grease my pan if I'm using parchment paper. This is going in the oven at 350. Let's say 20 minutes, see what it's gonna be, probably 30. But I'll check them at 20 through the oven door, I won't open it. We're back about 35 minutes of baking and 25 minutes of cooling later. It's much later now. I made a whole other recipe. I took it out of the pan. I'm so excited. It smells like milk chocolate. Like it's not, I don't want it to like flip, but they're not dark, dark, dark brown. They're like milk chocolate brown. Okay, my other recipe is right here. Yes. Yes. Okay, we have to take a tiny bite, I guess. Sharing the recipe. Sharing the recipe. Thumbnail. Just kidding. Yep. Obsessed. You should make these. And I will share the recipe. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. No matter who you are celebrating it with or if you're celebrating alone, you can make these brownies this weekend. I hope you take the time to love yourself.